Hello again, my name's Gabe Zollner. You know, if you've been viewing me for a while, before the midterms, I made a number of videos and I talked about the significance and the importance of the midterms. And I said that if the Republicans don't take control of the Senate and maintain control of the House of Representatives, America will be finished. And the reason that is Obama will be able to do anything and everything that he wants to do. He did have that ability before, and he chose to do nothing. What's amazing is that the midterms were the second most expensive election in this country's history. That money could have been better used elsewhere. Why? Well, the Republicans that voted gave the Senate back to the Republicans with a majority. And they maintained the House. They actually won seats in the House. And what did they do? They left that drunkard John Boehner, the Speaker, and they left that useless tool Mitch McConnell is the majority leader of the Senate. And then what did they do? Well, what they did is they handed Obama a $40 billion check, out of which he's going to use a certain amount of that money to further his immigration program. The one that he said he couldn't take advantage of, he couldn't implement on 22 separate occasions. I guess John Boehner and Mitch McConnell and the rest of the jackass Republicans weren't listening. They weren't listening to when he said that he couldn't do what he chose to do, what he wanted to do, which he ultimately did. The Republicans caved in. What do you think's going to happen if there is another election? I'm not going to bother voting for a Republican, and I'm certainly not going to vote for a Democrat. I'm just not going to vote. And a lot of Americans that were Republicans won't vote either. I'm actually ashamed to be a Republican. I want to change my affiliation. I don't want to be known as a Republican, because Republicans are gutless. I'm not gutless. If I was gutless, would I be making these videos? If I was gutless? We've got gutless, spineless leaders. I don't know what Obama has on Boehner. I've heard different stories about Boehner. I've heard he likes African women. I've heard a lot of different stories about Boehner. Mitch McConnell, the guy's a complete joke. If he wouldn't be married to that incredibly wealthy family, the Oriental family that he's married to, the Chinese family, I think it's Chinese, he probably wouldn't have won half the elections that he won. But they just flood their territory, their region, and they get votes. That's how the game's played. Well, you know what? I'm tired of playing the game. I'm tired of being supportive of the Republican Party when the leadership doesn't support me. The leadership isn't supporting you. We're a laughing stock. It was the second most expensive election in this country's history. And what did we do? Well, we allowed these jackass leaders to stay. A lot of people didn't want to leave the Speaker in control. WorldNet Daily started a petition. I was for that petition. And what did they do? These jackass Republicans elected to keep him as head of the House of Representatives. And look at this Republican Senate that we have. What the hell did they do? They voted to give Obama a $40 billion check so he can continue giving away billions of dollars. They don't even have a clue of how many illegals are in this country. You know how they're going to find out? when they file for their 3 years tax credits, and when they file for Section 8 housing, and when they get free medical, and they get free social services, you know what that's going to add up to? Billions of dollars given to illegals that have no business being here. They got in front of the line of people that waited for years to immigrate to this country. What the hell for? The country's finished. The country is finished. We don't have a republic any longer. We don't have a Republican Party. They got their noses up Obama's ass. That's what they've done. They've turned it over to him. He didn't need to take control of the Senate with Democrats. He's got control of the Senate with Republicans. He didn't need to take back the House. He's got control of the House with Republicans. Otherwise, they wouldn't have voted the way they did. How can you vote for something that you know is illegal? How can you fund something that you know that is illegal? Come the morning, I'm going to go change my affiliation. I don't want to be known as a Republican. And you know what? I'm not alone. I'm not alone. We're all disgusted with this leadership. We're disgusted with this spineless, ass-kissing Republicans in the Senate and in the House of Representatives. It makes me sick. I've worked so hard, and so many millions of people have worked so hard to do what they can, to ignite, to light up a fire under the Republicans. And John Boehner and Mitch McConnell pissed on the fire. They pissed on us. They caved in to Barack Hussein Obama, a radical, extremist, Islamic, homosexual that's destroying the American way of life. And you jackasses in the Senate, and you jackasses in Congress, and I'm referring to the Republicans, are responsible for the state of this country. Y'all make me sick. You're disgusting, spineless worms.